Coming up in the news, North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish questioned by police in connection to a sexual assault allegation. Plus, Agriculture Minister Clay Sweeting on Grand Bahama to discuss food security. And a festival organizer accused of running a scam. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Simone Davis. Thank you so much for watching. Topping news tonight, North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish was questioned by police yesterday in connection with a sexual assault allegation. While he's not been charged, investigations continue. Remiko Knowles joins us live tonight and explores the parliamentary rules as it deals with the issue of allegations against a sitting member of parliament. Remiko, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Simone. I'm standing outside the Gerald A. Bartlett complex, also known as the Central Police Station here in Freeport, Grand Bahama. There has been mounting concerns from the public over whether or not the Member of Parliament for North Abaco and the Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Kirk Cornish, would turn himself in for questioning concerning the sexual allegations levied against him. Well, that is exactly what happened yesterday inside this police station. The Member of Parliament for North Abaco and Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister has been called in for questioning by police concerning allegations of sexual abuse made against him. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll confirming with our ZNS News team that the MP for North Abaco, Kirk Cornish, presented himself at the headquarters in Grand Bahama yesterday alongside his attorney.
He was brought to the police station by his attorney, where he was taken into custody for questioning. He has since been released pending further investigation.
What happened during the questioning period remains unknown at this time. However, we spoke with several attorneys in Grand Bahama to find out what occurs during that process.
They'll ask questions in regards to him, put the allegations to him, which is only fair, that you hear whatever allegations are made against you, and give you an opportunity to defend them. And here, you know, if it's anything meritorious to the fact that the police feel that they need to charge him based on whatever the investigation may unfold, that's determined by the police.
They would pretty much ask him, did he do it? But one thing they would tell him, and one thing I always encourage my clients to embrace, is that he have a right to remain silent. He doesn't have to say anything.
Another pressing question is whether or not the MP's political affiliation has any influence on the proceedings. Counsel and attorney-at-law Carlson Sherlin, KC, and K. Brian Hanna both say the Constitution makes no such exception.
He has a right to due process. He's innocent until he's proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, or unless he plead guilty. You know, where he's going to have his greatest challenge is trying to convince John public that these allegations are false.
Sometimes, you know, those type of allegations, from my understanding, tend to be he say, she say. Right. What's there to support it? What's there to corroborate her story against his story? So it's sort of intricate in terms of, because it's so personal and, you know, intimate.
The attorneys maintain that MP Cornish is entitled to due process under the law, and if in fact he is charged, Maurice Tynes says he can still represent his constituency in Parliament.
The Prime Minister could take away his position as our secretary, but it'll be up to him whether or not he resigns his seat or not if he is charged. If he resigns, then his people, the Speaker will have to make his seat vacant, and they'll call for then that'll call for a by-election.
We have a member of Parliament now who's sitting. He's attending Parliament on a daily basis, He is charged and he is being tried before the court as we speak. I think that would be Mr. Adrian Gibson.
He should go on with his life and try to live the best quality of life he can in the circumstances.
Now, the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernandez, has stated on record that no man is above the law, and he is assuring the public that his political affiliation will have no outcome in determining the outcome of this investigation. Live outside the Gerald A. Bartlett complex from the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Remiko Knowles. Back to you in studio.
Thanks so much, Remiko. Well, the recent news involving Member of Parliament for North Abaco, Kirk Cornish, sparking many conversations amongst Bahamians. One question being asked is, should members of Parliament resign if charged before the court for an offense? Recently, Adrian Gibson was hauled before the court for 56 charges of bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, receiving, and money laundering. Well, our ZNS News team took to the streets today where residents weighed in.
Of course, integrity. I believe when we take positions of leadership, we need to stand as people of integrity.
Yes, I do. Why? I think they should. I think that's the honest thing to do.
Everybody should pay a penalty. If you do wrong, you should pay for what you do.
On April 27th, MP Cornish was questioned on a recent rape and abuse allegation made by his former girlfriend. However, he has not been charged. But there has been mixed reaction to him stepping down on this basis.
Really proven that he is guilty or should be guilty, but not until then.
That situation for me is very sticky and it's emotional because I know both families personally. And if he is wrong and if he's found guilty, I feel that he should have his day in court. A person is innocent until proven guilty. And so like every other citizen, he should be treated the same way.
Residents and business owners are furious after being hired to participate in the Bahamas Boogie Jump Festival, slated to take place in West End, only to find out it was canceled. One vendor and an entertainer are speaking out, accusing the organizer of running a scam. We also spoke to that organizer to get his side of the story and find out what caused the event to be canceled. Here's that story.
I was excited, because, Freeport has been down for so long. And along with the other vendors, everyone was excited to make some money and to help with our culture.
The Bahamas Boogie Jump Festival, which was intended to be a skydiving clinic aimed at promoting tourism, has caused controversy after it was canceled, leaving participants and vendors wondering about the organizers' motives. A group of skydivers has recently visited the island, and festival organizer Vance Johnson saw the potential for a major skydiving event that would attract visitors. However, the festival failed to materialize, leaving many disappointed.
He just was pretty itchy, like, he need all of the money to be paid one time. I said, we understood that we had to pay like for 4 days, and we could pay as we go. He said, oh, no. So after he got the $200 from me, the con guy, he gave him $350 on the float. He gave him $350 on the float because my hand was in food. So he said, okay, he's coming right back. He's going to bring the receipt. He never came back. He went missing.
And it appears she wasn't alone in having suspicions.
He gave me a check, and he was stressing to deposit the check. Make sure you deposit this check, right? And I was like, okay. So I went to the bank, and of course I'm gonna go inside now because I feel a little weird about it. And they told me that the gentleman's account was closed. So I gave the bank manager, I called him right there, I gave the bank manager the phone, and he's trying to make it seem like something's going on with his account, but she's saying, I'm looking at it, it's closed.
After managing to get in touch with Johnson, he explained that he had been hired to organize the festival and had relied on sponsorship to fund it. Unfortunately, the sponsorships did not come through as planned, and Johnson found himself having to use his own personal funds, eventually leading to his funds being exhausted. He firmly denied any claims that he had intended to run a scam.
Because me being in total debt, what I decided to do was I didn't cancel the event, I had postponed it, okay? What had happened was that everything was just getting so out of hand. I said, okay, I will try to resurrect it for the weekend. If it doesn't work, then it's canceled. There's a few people that paid deposits for their boots. Okay, they were there for a day and a half, 2 days. Okay, I decided to really just call it off.
Johnson declares that he is actively working to acquire the necessary funds to reimburse the vendors who had paid to participate. Well, the Minister for Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, led a contingent from his ministry to Grand Bahama this week to address a special meeting at the PLP headquarters on food security. Christine Pinder reports.
The Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, pledging his ministry's commitment to the people of this island, noting that incidents like the Gulf War, 9/11 and COVID-19 threatened food security.
This administration is committed to providing practical solutions and support to improve the conditions in Grand Bahama. We hope to join them and ensure that Grand Bahama as healthy agricultural and marine investments that will improve the access to fresh foods and for locals and visitors.
The minister stating that while his ministry is responsible for so many areas throughout the country, he is busy implementing changes that would eliminate a myriad of problems, including targeting stray dogs.
We are actively maintaining the areas, working with our corporate partners to enhance the public areas for residents and visitors. We are focused on improving the conditions for the animals throughout the Bahamas. We have established the Animal Control Board for the first time in 20 years, and the members are very active and provide partnership with the ministry to help resolve the stray dog issues. I know you have a big issue in Grand Bahama. We have a big issue in New Providence, but I will say we are putting new policies and procedures in place to help correct that.
Minister Sweeting was excited about sailing becoming the national sport of the Bahamas.
This year has been an amazing year, as we recently announced, and that this ministry was responsible for naming sailing as the national sport of the Bahamas. This will have a huge impact on the economic development throughout our country, and we hope that Grand Bahama will help to play a role in that. I know once upon a time, Grand Bahama had a regatta, and we hope that we can work collectively throughout this country to help to, you ready for regatta in Grand Bahama? Yeah. To help to ensure that every island is touched in one way or another, because that's what family is about. We are family islands. You know, they changed the name from other islands to family islands, right? So we have to ensure that we respect that in our family of islands.
Additionally, the minister threw his support behind investing in out-island festivals, which he says will increase economic activities as well as build stronger communities. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Christine Pinder.
A memorial service in honor of legendary educator Dorothy Butler Lightborne. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison. Pizza Hut Freeport has the perfect deal for you. Order a large one-topping pizza, 5 cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink for just $24.70 with that. Choose your favorite topping and enjoy our fan-favorite cheesy breadsticks with an ice-cold 2-liter drink. Available at Pizza Hut for delivery, carry-out, and curbside. Order today. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Grand Bahama downtown parking lot comes alive. Come and enjoy your favorite street food at one location. Saturday, April 29th from 5 p.m. until 11 p.m. Amazing performances from top finishers of GB National Arts Festival, all at Food Truck Saturday.
Visit Island Care Pharmacy on Explorers Way, next to Tico's Clothing Store. They offer the best in pharmaceutical health care and medical supplies. Take advantage of their medical discount plan today. Island Care Pharmacy. Phone 602-0932.
Sunday, May 14th, celebrate Mom in the Grand Lucayan Hotel Grand Ballroom for a Mother's Day full buffet brunch treat with plenty of live entertainment. Tickets on sale at the lobby daily. For more information, call 373-1333.
Mother's Day is coming up, and I'm thinking about upgrading my kids' mother's kitchen.
Man, I thought your children's mother was married to another man. You have to know when to let go. This is powerful. You know what? I'm going to upgrade my wife's kitchen for Mother's Day. I am sure she would love that.
I think so too. Check out Cornet Bahamas. They're having a pre-Mother's Day sale, 35% off store-wide starting April 16th to May 16th. The Sandy Port Plaza, Freeport, Albuquerque, and Eleuthera.
Don't miss the spring pop-up shop at Canal House, Pelican Bay. Free admission, amazing vendors, great products, and prizes. Join them May 6, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m.
On May 6th, the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development invites all persons living with disabilities, family members, and the general public to join the Day of Love Motorcade and Family Fun Day. There will be free food, drinks, and fun for the entire family. #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. It was an evening of remembrance as educators and family members convened for a memorial service in honor of legendary educator Dorothy Butler Lightborne. As the family gets ready to lay her to rest this weekend, those who remember her fondly shared their favorite memories. Shane Stubbs has more.
It was an evening where educators and former students shared their fondest memories of beloved mother and educator Dorothy Butler Lightborne. As one put it, New Life Worship Center became a room of reflections. Serving as senior mistress under Lightborne during their time at Martintown Primary School, Ludell Wiley fondly remembers the passion the legendary educator showed for her students.
She had the students' interest at hand. She was the first person at school every day, last person to leave in the afternoon, and she made sure every child was equipped for learning.
Remembering Lightborne's legacy as a former colleague was Lillian Quan Forbes, who remembers her love shining brightly for teen mothers as principal at the Pace Center years ago. Saddened that she's gone, she carries the time they shared closely to her heart.
That time that she would have spent with us doing Pace and the teen mothers, every year for their graduation, she made sure that each child, each graduate, had a package for themselves and for their babies.
Acting Assistant Director of Education Yvonne Ward couldn't say enough about Lightborne's passion for helping young men. And she could always count on Dot when it came to fashion.
She had a way with young men, and so she steered our young men in the right direction. She was a fashion police for female educators. Protocol and dress was her thing. Another thing is we thank her for providing us with persons like Miss Leary, her daughter, who is an exceptional officer at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and also Ricardo Lightborne, her son.
And in one of the lighthearted moments of the evening, Lightborne was remembered as a shoulder to cry on. Even after former student Peter Alley didn't get the role he wanted in the Christmas play, she reminded him that he was the best, no matter what.
She said, "Peter, I want to tell you this, son. You held that microphone so smartly. You looked at the audience so intently. You are the best sheep we've ever had."
But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
And now it's time for your evening sports with our Athlete of the Month.
Congratulations goes out to DG Forbes on being named Athlete of the Month for the month of April.
Tell us how long you've been playing flag football, when you started playing, and the different teams you've played for up to now.
Okay, I've been playing flag football from 2013. I first started off with the Eagles. I then gone on to Pink Sands. From there, we was Lady Elites, and now we are Lady Elites again.
I understand you had a track background. How did you get into track and field at a young age? And tell us about your experience in track and field, first and foremost.
Track and field was always a passion for me from younger. So I pursued that based off education and passion.
So now, fast forward now, flag football. How did you get into playing flag football?
Everybody saw my speed and my background with track. I feel like I would have been a benefit to their team. And from there, flag football came about.
You've been playing for a long time now. What makes you want to play for so long and keeps you motivated to continue to play flag football?
Okay, I was always in and out with the flag. It was never just always year after year. So I started first and I stopped for about 3-4 years, and then I came back. It became a real exciting sport to me, getting to meet people and exposure.
Your team is considered one of the top teams in the league so far. You're about halfway through the season. Talk about your team, your teammates, your coaches, your success you guys have been having so far this year.
Yeah, our team is the champs. We are the champs from last year. We're bringing it forward this year. I mean, we started the season a little rocky, but like you said, we're halfway into the season and we're getting ready to bring out all of our full potential, all of our efforts to get towards championship and nationals.
So you guys may have a chance to win this year's Grand Bahama flag football title. If that does happen, what's going to be expectation going into nationals, competing against New Providence and the different family islands?
Okay, when it does happen, not if it happens. We are getting ready, so we're strengthening all of our weakness on defense and offense.
When you hear DG Forbes, Athlete of the Month, how does it make you feel?
It's an honor. I must say, all those that recommend me and see me as that person, I really appreciate it. I mean, I've been working hard all season, on and off the field, getting practice in, getting my mind together, getting tactics together, just to perform well this season.
Knowing that so much responsibility is put on you as a running back, how does it make you feel knowing that you have so much to go out there to prove in order to get your teammates, in order to get your team a win each and every Sunday?
Okay, well, like you say, it is a lot. The pressure is real. I mean, I really don't let it get to me personally, because like I said, I go there and have fun first. Because once I have the enjoyment, then everything else falls together.
As a young lady with a full-time job, 5 days a week, when do you find time to concentrate on football and find time to practice, and even on Sundays to go there and compete at a very high level?
You make time. We all make time for what we want to make time for. So for that, I prioritize my team because they prioritize me.
A double championship in a year, to win the Grand Bahama Flag Football Championship and also to win nationals this year, which I think will be in Grand Bahama. How does that sound?
Sounds great. It all starts with our coaches. So our two head coaches, Forrest and Goose,
They got us prepared and ready to go for the season. So whatever comes our way, we're ready to dominate it.
And there you have it. Deidre Forbes, Athlete of the Month.
Let's go.
Sunday, May 14th, celebrate Mom in the Grand Lucayan Hotel Grand Ballroom for a Mother's Day full buffet brunch treat with plenty of live entertainment. Tickets on sale at the lobby daily. For more information, call 373-1333.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Is coming to West Grand Bahama. It's the Road to 50 celebration. Saturday, May 27th. Sunset Village, 8 Mile Rock Fish Fry. One family. Sunset Village, 8 Mile Rock Fish Fry. Coming to West Grand Bahama. Don't miss the Road to 50 celebration. Saturday, May 27th. The West Grand Bahama edition.
Welcome to the My Professor and More, where our focus is to provide the innovation and provide the guidelines for our talented students in a variety of subject matters, from primary school all the way to university level.
Because of the Math Professor, my mathematical and public speaking skills have truly elevated.
At the My Professor and More, we see our students as being family members. Even though we strive in mathematics and public speaking, we cover all of those areas whereby students may be finding challenges. At the Math Professor, we strive for excellence. We strive for innovation. And through the techniques that we use, we continue to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of students each year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We welcome you to be a part of the family.
I thought the march was very, very good. Today we're celebrating 61 years, Doris Johnson, what she did to promote women to bring us to this stage to where we are today.
Seeing the little girls was the coolest part to me because, you know, that's our future.
I actually thought it was amazing to see so many females come on and support one another. It makes me know that, you know, we have actually grown. I know where we came from, and I know we have to go further.
A woman's march, that is something that's very different, so I really liked it, and I feel like it's a great turnout for being the first one.
I feel good. I'm proud to be a woman in this Bahama land.
I am so proud to be a woman in the Bahamas.
Drive your career forward with the first and only CDL authorized school in the Bahamas, Motor Vehicle Training School at number 30 Clara Road. We offer commercial driver's license certification and training for Class A, B, and C. Skill certification is ongoing for all current commercial drivers. Get your CDL license today. Contact us at 601-0629 or mvts-bs.com.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Dr. Pamela Mills, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much, and we appreciate you for your continued support. And we also want to say happy birthday to twins Tianato and Blair Martinborough. We hope you both enjoy. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Simone Davis. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, accused MP released. An aggressive health recruitment campaign. NIB's liquidity crisis claims dismissed. And in sports, Cleveland Indians repeat track champions. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by BTC. For the fastest speeds across the Bahamas and the lowest price by far, switch to BTC today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. No charges filed yet, but the investigation is still underway. Cleopatra Murphy has the latest on the police probe into an alleged rape by a sitting member of Parliament.
Member of Parliament for North Abaco, Kirk Cornish, was released from custody Thursday night after turning himself into Grand Bahama police in connection with rape and abuse allegations recently leveled against him by a former girlfriend.
He came in yesterday. He was questioned extensively, and he was later released pending. The matter is still very much active, so I don't wish to go further into. But as we continue with our investigation, we will be able to further update the members of the public as to the end results of the investigation.
The alleged victim claims the accused came to her house on April 4th, where he forced her into a room, ripped off her jeans and underwear, and forcibly had sex with her. With public scrutiny on how police handles the case, particularly after the alleged victim claims an officer attempted to get her to sign a statement that she would not pursue the case further, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando insists police are conducting a thorough investigation.
I said during my press conference on Monday that nobody is above the law and no special treatment for anyone.
Minister of State with responsibility for the National Insurance Board, the Honorable Miles Larota, also weighed in on the allegations against a parliamentary colleague, suggesting the public allow the investigation to take its course.
I'm advised that he presented himself. A serious matter has been raised, one of domestic violence, and that is a very important and serious topic for the government. But there's also the due process, and so until the facts are realized, I have no further comment with regards to that.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, also tonight, Remiko Knowles from our Northern Service joins us and joining us in exploring the parliamentary rules in the case of the allegations against a sitting MP.
Freeport, Grand Bahama, there has been mounting concerns from the public over whether or not the Member of Parliament for North Abaco and the Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Kirk Cornish, would turn himself into police for questioning regarding the sexual allegations levied against him. Well, that is exactly what happened yesterday inside this police station. Parliament for North Abaco and Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister has been called in for questioning by police concerning allegations of sexual abuse made against him. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll confirming with our ZNS News team that the MP for North Abaco, Kirk Cornish, presented himself at the headquarters in Grand Bahama yesterday alongside his attorney.
He was brought to the police station by his attorney, where he was taken into custody for questioning. He has since been released pending further investigation.
What happened during the questioning period remains unknown at this time. However, we spoke with several attorneys in Grand Bahama to find out what occurs during that process.
They will ask questions in regards to him, put the allegations to him, which is only fair, that you hear whatever allegations are made against you, and give you an opportunity to defend them. And here, you know, if it's anything meritorious as to the fact that the police feel that they need to charge him based on whatever the investigation may unfold, that's determined by the police.
They would pretty much ask him, did he do it? But one thing they would tell him, you know, one thing I always encourage my clients to embrace is that he have a right to remain silent. He doesn't have to say anything.
Another pressing question is whether or not the MP's political affiliation has any influence on the proceedings. Counsel and attorney-at-law Carlson Sherlin, KC, and K. Brian Hanna both say the Constitution makes no such exception.
He has a right to due process. He's innocent until he's proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. unless he plead guilty. You know, where he's going to have his greatest challenge is trying to convince John Public that these allegations are false.
Sometimes, you know, those type of allegations, from my understanding, tend to be he say, she say. What's there to support it? What's there to corroborate her story against his story? So it's sort of intricate in terms of, because it's so personal and, you know, intimate.
The attorneys maintain that MP Cornish is entitled to due process under the law, and if in fact he is charged, Maurice Tynes says he can still represent his constituency in Parliament.
The Prime Minister could take away his position as our secretary, but it'll be up to him whether or not he resigns his seat or not if he is charged. If he resigns, then his people, the Speaker will have to make his seat vacant. And then that'll call for a by-election.
We have a member of Parliament now who's sitting. He's attending Parliament on a daily basis. He is charged and he's being tried before the court as we speak. I think that would be Mr. Adrian Gibson.
He should go on with his life and try to live the best quality of life he can in the circumstances.
Now, Makushla, the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernandez, is assuring the public that no man is above the law, noting that the Member of Parliament for North Abaco will not be given any special treatment when determining the outcome of this investigation. Live outside the Gerald A. Bartlett Complex in Freeport, Grand Bahama for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Remiko Knowles. Back to you in studio.
Well, thanks, Remiko, for that update. Now, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro's position in a bid to get the public to buy into the importance of assisting the government and the police with fighting crime.
Many of us will check any of these boxes. And these are the questions. When I see a child misbehaving, do I inform the parent? Can we check that box? When I see a child misbehaving, I approach the child and correct the child. Can any of us check that box? When I suspect a child is a victim of abuse, I report the matter to the authorities. Can we check that box? Am I actively involved in mentoring a child? Can we check that box? Am I actively involved in providing advice and assistance to a child who's struggling, to a parent, who's struggling to parent a child? Can we check that box? Am I a member of a group or organization who engages in civic work to support and enable children or their parents? Can we check that box? Or am I actively supporting an organization? Because I just don't have the personality to do it myself. Am I actively supporting an organization or a person who's doing any of the above? How many of those boxes can we check? Because in Vision 2040, we agreed that as a country, we need to be checking these boxes to address this problem.
In other news this evening, the Geneva-based Human Rights Council will next week review the Bahamas on its fourth Universal Period Report, or UPR, submitted earlier this year. It's following that review that the report, which speaks to the country's human rights as well as the fulfillment of recommendations, will be adopted. And according to Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, this is crucial.
The government of the Bahamas has established its commitment to the UPR process from inception. Being one of the first countries to participate and having consistently presented on time, we expect that the review will be a positive one that will provide additional strengthening to our efforts to ensure that the rights of every Bahamian citizen are protected.
Now, Campbell was at the time contributing to the House of Assembly's debate on a resolution to establish a parliamentary human rights committee. The Centerville MP notes that once it is adopted, the Bahamas becomes only the third CARICOM country to do so. The others are Trinidad and Tobago and Suriname. Well, Minister of State with responsibility for the National Insurance Board, the Honorable Miles Larota, is tonight dismissing claims the country's social safety net is in the midst of a liquidity crisis. Larota was seeking to clarify statements at a recent PLP Elizabeth constituency branch meeting where he revealed the NIB fund that the 11th actuarial report of the ILO projects could be insolvent 2028 if urgent action is not taken, basically running on fumes. While the Nassau Guardian previously reported that Cabinet has agreed to a 1.5% increase to take effect July 1st, when questioned, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis said he would resist putting more burden on the working class. Now, Larota, who refrained from saying if he would approve the increase if it were up to him, though, stressed that something must be done to address the issues at the fund that pays out more than it brings in.
The point I was trying to make is when you look at the difference between having 40 years or 30 years of liquidity to deal with these matters, as opposed to the last actuarial report, which says that we're looking at 5 years before the fund is exhausted. That was the point I was trying to make. The situation is dire. It's still a serious one. However, at the present time, we do have enough cash on hand, and the liquidity is still there for us to pay benefits and handle our obligations.
Well, it seems the Bahamas is wrestling another pandemic, one impacting the construction sector. Our Carla Palmer spoke with President of the Bahamas Contractors Association on the issue.
As far as president of the Bahamas Contractors Association, Leonard Sands, is concerned, there is no truth to contractors bringing foreign workers into the country because their labor is cheaper than what local workers demand.
I know a lot of persons say that, but that's not the reason. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, I'll tell you what the reason is. Whether we like to believe it or not, we have a pandemic in our country. The pandemic is we're having a harder and harder time to find consistent Bahamian skilled labor. Now, there are some persons who are employed and been employed for 20 years, and they are the backbone of this industry. But they're dying out. And their replacement, our younger brothers and sisters, they show up to work 2 and 3 days a week and don't show up for the rest of the week, while our Caribbean brothers and sisters show up every single day. And I will tell you, as president of the Contractors Association, that is the common cry of most contractors.
The construction industry in the Bahamas has been designated by the government as only for Bahamians. As such, he's encouraging those in the sector to safeguard it.
We'd like to hire our brothers and sisters, but the older ones, they do the job as professionals. The younger ones, I'm talking about between 19 and 25, they are inconsistent in construction, and we need them to be more consistent, because that's why the foreign labor, and not always illegal, just foreign labor, is taking over the marketplace. That has to change.
According to Sands, in the construction industry, it's all about supply and demand, because too few persons are classified skilled and are willing to work. He says they will get paid their request.
And I say this very strongly. The marketplace is there for the laborers who are skilled, and they demand wages far above what everyone else is getting, and they get paid it. I could say, without a doubt, there are persons in the labor market between painting, drywall, framing, carpentry, who make between $850 to $1,000 every 5 days. Now, you tell me that money is the low end in our country? No, it's not.
With the Department of Labor and Immigration now doubling down on enforcement of the rules and regulations, Sands anticipates a reduction in the numbers of Bahamian contractors.
We will start to see some dwindling numbers in the industry, but I believe that dwindling number will create an opportunity for us to step up training, for more Bahamians to be added to the workforce.
With a booming construction industry, more Bahamians are being encouraged to take advantage of the free vocational lessons available at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, BTVI. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISIX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Original or hot and spicy?
I'm cooked the hard way, no corners cut to live life the fried way. 11 herbs and spices, that's all I can say.
If you wanna take a bite, I'm just a little tanky, but a whole lot of feisty. Yeah, I'm the chick with the kick that call me hot and spicy.
There's no winning flavor. They're all finger-licking good.
Bahamians are rediscovering Grand Bahama through immersive staycation experiences at Lighthouse Point Grand Lucaya. Pamper yourself at our Senses Spa or savor exotic cocktails by the sea. Unwind and enjoy serenity, 18 holes of golf, fine dining, romance, business conventions and meetings, grand outdoor events. For Bahamas resident rates at Lighthouse Point, call 242-373-1333 or WhatsApp message 827-8195.
Come on down at the Red Cross National Fair. Don't you meet me there. It's a family affair. Oh yes, it's that time again. Go tell your neighbors, tell your friend. As the children play, you can dance the night away. Yes, they got boogaloo, games and jungle and so much more. So jump in your car, catch all the fun enough for everyone. At the Red Cross National Fair. Don't you meet me there. It's the family affair.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan.
5 months following the collapse of crypto giant FTX and the subsequent arrest, extradition, and arraignment of its Bahamas-based CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, local investigations into the incident continue. But according to Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, due to the wide range of jurisdictions in which FTX operated and the size and scope of its business activities, the investigation is complex. Davis opted out of commenting or speculating on those investigations. However, what he did say was that any view that events leading to the FTX collapse are tied to a weakness in the Bahamas' legislative structure is not consistent with the facts. The Prime Minister was at the time addressing the world's leading stakeholders in the digital assets industry at CoinDesk Consensus 2023 conference in Austin, Texas. It's there that he announced that the Bahamas' Digital Advisory Panel, chaired by the Attorney General, is collaborating with the Securities Commission to develop a regulatory framework and corporate structure for digital autonomous organizations. Meantime, the central bank's 2022 fourth quarter economic review shows that a staggering majority of Bahamian dollar deposit accounts, that is more than 90%, have less than $1,000 in them. Economic Affairs Minister Senator the Honorable Michael Akita sharing those details while addressing the central bank's two-day financial literacy fair and digital expo at Fusion Superplex Friday. He says even assuming someone has more than one account, it would average a small number, stressing the need to better educate the public on how to manage their finances, even amid inflation.
With these small amounts, this means that in the event of the metaphorical rainy day, even if it is temporary, a majority of adults do not have enough money in the bank to sustain themselves through a period of hardship. In fact, in 2018, the central bank reported from its financial literacy survey that less than half of the population had enough savings to cover 6 months of expenses if they were to lose their main income. About 13% of those who responded had less than enough to cover 1 month of needs. And while this may be indicative of a number of social and economic factors, what it says predominantly is that our people are not yet empowered or able to steward their finances to build up larger savings using the financial products that are available to them.
In related news, it's now easier for Bahamians to open a bank account. Governor of the Central Bank, John Rhodes, says KYC, or Know Your Customer guidelines, have been relaxed within the last month. Rhodes also noted that where a low risk of money laundering is associated with account operations, written references are allowed.
The personal banking experience in the last month, there has been further easing of the Know Your Customer or the KYC requirements so that a Bahamas driver's license is now sufficient identification by itself to open a bank account for low-risk clients. This characterizes the substantial majority of persons who present themselves to open a deposit account. Similarly, in some cases, individuals can now use their expired Bahamas passport or their expired Bahamas driver's license to supplement other lesser forms of official identification that they might use.
In health news this evening, an aggressive recruitment campaign launched to fill manpower shortages in the public health care system. And according to Health and Wellness Minister, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darville, it's an exercise that has been expanded across the globe.
On coming to office, we found that there were some shortages as up to 450 with the nursing and specialty nursing groups. And we are now in the final stages of our recruitment exercise in Ghana and the Philippines. And very shortly, we will be able to bring in some additional nurses as part of our short-term plan to address the challenges that currently exist at the Princess Margaret Hospital in Iran.
Dr. Darville says there's also a shortage in specialty areas, adding that recruitment will also be extended to local high schools.
It takes a while to train a specialty nurse. It's one of those assets you don't just get. It takes sometimes up to 6 to 8 years to really produce that product. And the world is recruiting our nurses. As we speak, the United States, Canada, and England is here recruiting our nurses because they're good quality nurses. Our responsibility in the Ministry of Health is to look at our partners at Cuba, look at Africa and other countries to import nurses in the short term. But by no means that's going to solve our problem. They're just here to fill the gap. We're going to go on an excessive recruitment exercise at our secondary schools, grade 11 and 12, to really begin now to do an excessive drive to let young people know that there's really lucrative careers in the healthcare sector.
Well, an explosion of Bahamian culture during the Ministry of Tourism's welcome reception for attendees of the Caribbean Public Health Agency Conference, and that coming in the form of local dishes, song, dance, and of course, Jonkanu. Deputy Director of Tourism, Dr. Kenneth Romer, extending special welcome to the delegates, who reiterated that the Bahamas has bounced back to pre-pandemic visitor arrival numbers.
When we look at our post-pandemic recovery, it is a clear demonstration that this marriage was a match made in heaven. So I certainly want to applaud our healthcare professionals for the level of commitment you demonstrated in ensuring that we are now experiencing in a post-pandemic era. In the first quarter of 2023, our numbers, because of your contributions and your commitment, have now surpassed our pre-pandemic year, 2019, which for us was the best year in the history of our country.
The conference, held under the theme Caribbean Health and Tourism, Ways to Recovery and Resilience. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville on some of the issues discussed, while CAFRA Executive Director Dr. Joy St. John expresses pleasure with a warm reception.
Of falling behind in immunization, the issues as it relates to crime, and crime being assessed as a public health issue. We spoke specifically about COVID-19. We spoke about what we need to do more in the region for collaboration, and we began to look at testing and the ability for us to use our resources more efficiently in the Caribbean.
For coming together and really supporting us, not just tonight, but throughout this week of activities and specifically for the conference. I am really happy to see how many people have come to the Bahamas.
Officials from the Public Hospitals Authority thanking its partners for stepping up to donate blood. Managing Director of the Public Hospitals Authority, Dr. Aubanet Rose, says there's now an adequate supply of blood at the blood bank to address patient care needs.
I can say right now we do not have a blood shortage. We do not. We also have a calendar that has been fulfilled throughout the entire month of May. And persons are coming forth and they are actually donating.
Well, a successful blood drive and health screening held today at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas with the goal of beefing up reserves in the country. Lloyd Allen has more.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas on Friday buzzing with activities following a number of activities inclusive of a health screening and blood drive, all in the name of improving health.
As a responsible corporate citizen, the Broadcasting Corporation, in its role, when it notes that there is a problem in the country, in this particular case, a shortage of blood, it is its responsibility to step in and to find solution for these kinds of challenges.
As communications consultant Dwayne Wallace explains, oftentimes many hospital patients are in need of blood. He's hoping Friday's drive reduces that burden.
But if we have sufficient blood supply on hand, we won't have that problem.
Helping to coordinate the initiative was senior medical technologist Crystal Dane-Simonet, who says a common fear for many potential donors is the needle.
It's pretty quick and easy, and for the most part, my staff, the staff of the blood bank, try to make it as comfortable and as relaxing as possible. And as far as finding out information about your health, it's better to know than not know.
Assisting with the registration process, ZNS staffer Portia Johnson.
And if it's staff members, they will stop here and we would register them for our drawing. And then after that, we will send them over to the table to the ladies there to register for the health screening.
The 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. event drew a healthy mix of donors, including members of Toastmasters Club 1600.
The club's number is 1600, so just to represent that 1600, we brought down 16 members of our club to donate 16 pints of blood.
Because I believe, it's something that everybody who can do it, they should definitely do it to be able to save a life.
I am not a regular blood donor, but I took the opportunity to do it today because it came to my doorstep at work.
Knowing that there's a serious need for blood in the blood bank, I feel that it's going to be able to save someone's life. I may not be able to save everyone, but at least I'll be able to contribute to someone.
The blood bank's inviting other businesses to host similar initiatives by booking at bloodbank@pha.org. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Oh, excellent initiative there, and we see you, Lloyd. The results of this week's poll question are in, but as a reminder, we asked, crime stats are down. Do you feel safe? Yes or no? Well, on the ZNS website, 88% of you said no, 12% yes. YouTube, 86% no. That leaves 14% of you saying yes. And on Twitter, 75% of you said no. Well, the national report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the 50th Independent Secretariat Golden Jubilee Song Competition, open to all Bahamian creatives. Entries must be submitted by Friday, May 5th, 2023. For details, go to www.celebrate-bahamas.com.
Tourism and Health took center stage as the Caribbean Public Health Agency hosted the Regional Tourism and Health Steering Committee and Stakeholders Meeting at Atlantis. Director General Latia Duncan brought remarks on opening day and tells us about the benefits of partnership within the region.
The relationships that we're seeing today, or the discussions, have been developed some time ago. So it's meeting here in the Bahamas, here at Atlantis Paradise Island, continuing the discussions with the steering committee. And so there are a number of items that are on the agenda that's going to be looking at tourism and health. How do we advance those discussions forward? How do we look to ensure that there's a framework that's always available for the destinations within the Caribbean to continue to grow and develop the industry in a very safe and sustainable way?
Health and tourism stakeholders seek to address health, environmental, and safety issues to develop and implement a greater framework throughout the region.
These types of discussions and collaborations are beneficial to the entire region. We share best practices, we share information, we share those things that's going to continue to ensure that the Caribbean region is well positioned in the global tourism space. And we've seen the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. We've also seen the resilience of the Caribbean community. So the rebound and recovery has been extremely strong. And these types of sessions ensure that no matter what type of crisis may come, there's an established, developed framework and team to review together to ensure the industry is sustainable.
I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
This moment in time, very, very exciting for me, and to know that we can have this time to look back and right now in the present see his lovely wife and children who has weathered the storms with him in getting this country where we are right now. We thank God for the legacy.
He is such an inspirational individual. He is what many may say that is a perfect representation of a true leader.
And the legacy for me that Sir Lyndon Pilgrim left was all about freedom.
For my generation, Sir Lyndon Pilgrim was everything, because without him, I wouldn't be standing here doing what I have been doing for the past 30 years.
I never look at it the same way as him as just a man.
He has given everything that he had, including his family, and definitely left a legacy behind that can never, ever be forgotten.
I love that we have a chance to just say thank you for his work.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Spring is here, and Easter is right around the corner. Thinking about moving forward with your personal goals that require money? Fidelity Bank can get you approved in no time without the red tape and the runaround. Fidelity offers competitive interest rates and minimum fees. The loan that you need and can afford is just a phone call away.
Well, we do apologize for the results of our poll question. The correct answers reflect that the no's were overwhelmingly more than the yes, and that in the case of the question, do you feel safe despite crime being down? Well, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority and its partners are showing young women the possibilities of careers in information communication technology. The 9th annual Girls in ICT Day was celebrated at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort Thursday, with 150 high school girls attending the event in person and up to 500 participating via Zoom. Education Officer for Professional Development in the Ministry of Education, Ramona Wells, says while the country's population consists mainly of women, they are underrepresented in ICT fields. Wells says women from all over the Bahamas are making their marks globally in related fields with the aim to spark greater interest here at home.
So we're hoping from this, the immediate outcome would be us to have internships so our young ladies can have opportunities to get into the business, into the field, see how it looks. But in the long term, we're looking at them going off to school, seeing the opportunities, and instead of just choosing the basic career or the normal career, going for the untraditional. And from that, coming back and making an impact here in the Bahamas.
IRCA Chairman Randall Dorsett is encouraged by the students' interest and that of the women who volunteered their time to mentor the next generation of ICT professionals. He says with the world's interconnection through trade, finance, and communication, there's been a demand for information and communication technology infrastructure, as well as new industries and job opportunities.
ICT is a rapidly growing field with a huge demand for skilled professionals. However, the number of women in ICT is significantly lower than men. Girls in ICT aims to bridge this gender gap by encouraging girls and women to pursue education and careers in the ICT field. This effort today is to help you to see the possibility and the diversity of fields that exist in ICT.
Well, still on education, 90 LW young students strongly encouraged by 5 cabinet ministers and top education officials to stay focused and to stay clear of negative influences. Our Kala Palmer was there and reports on their second Boys and Girls Empowerment Seminar.
Established 8 years ago in 2015, the Boys and Girls Club at LW Young Junior High School was organized as an empowerment movement to foster leadership skills and build character development. And according to the school's principal, Deborah Thompson, as they meet in celebration of their consecutive second annual seminar, the objectives are being met.
The club provides a safe and important space for our students to grow. Their time together teaches them brotherhood and sisterhood. It teaches them the importance of working together.
Their success noticed by education officials and others, including 5 cabinet ministers. Minister of State for Education, Zane Lightborne, encouraged the 90 students to stay focused on their education.
I congratulate you on being resilient fighters and striving students for the excellence in your lives and your education.
Equally, Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, told students that as the next generation, it's imperative they be prepared to lead.
That as good as you are, because you're all good from what I hear, that there are 1 or 2 persons who can make things look bad for you. But we know that badness is out of style for you all from what we hear. And you're going to keep it that way.
Presenting gift certificates for each student, Minister of Labor and Immigration Keith Bell gave food for thought.
Please repeat after me. Watch your thoughts.
Watch your thoughts.
Because they become your words. Watch your words. Because they become your actions. Watch your actions. Because they become your character. Watch your character, because it will determine your destiny.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Public Service and MP for Fox Hill, Fred Mitchell, got a special standing ovation by the students for his years of supporting the school. He too offered words of wisdom.
You don't have to go 75 miles an hour along JFK Drive with a cell phone in your hand and your seatbelt off. If you lose control of the car, at 23, your life's gone. So you can make a decision to save your life. Wearing a seatbelt, don't speed, don't text, put the phone down. That's a decision you can make. And then put the guns down.
Keynote speaker Lisa Ramming implored the academic achievers to remain steadfast.
And as I stand before you, I want to be completely honest. There were some subjects I did not like. I was completely turned off. And sometimes I wanted to give up. But if I did, I would not be standing here today. I must tell you not to give up on your subjects.
The day ended with each student and facilitators of the club being presented an award. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
The legacy Dame Marjorie Davers remembered in the House of Assembly. Education Minister, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, remembering Dame Marjorie as a great educational leader who impacted many lives.
Ms. Davis became the first female director of education in the Bahamas, a post she held for 11 years. She assumed administrative duties at the Department of Education and after teaching for 20 years at Government High. During those decades, she was privileged to have tutored many of the leaders and professionals who have been and are making outstanding contributions to this country.
The Independent Secretariat is making tree planting a part of its efforts to celebrate the country's 50th independence, planting trees on various islands this Arbor Day. The national tree, the Lignum vitae, is the tree of choice, with trees being planted Friday at the National Insurance Board on Blue Hill Road and Police Headquarters, East Street. Minister of State with responsibility for the National Insurance Board, the Honourable Miles Larota, spoke to the importance of the initiative.
Tree here is Lignum vitae. I'm advised it's the tree of life. And just sending the message out, this is a program that's going on, and we would like the Bahamians to get, like Bahamians too, get in the habit of planting trees and replenishing areas that have been depleted of trees. And science is there and overwhelming with regards that tree planting being beneficial to the environment.
Chair of the Independent Secretariat, Leslie Miller-Bryce, says this year's goal is to ensure that at least 50 Lignum vitae trees are planted countrywide. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez spoke to the importance of the tree at police headquarters.
Trees have made their way to the docks this morning, and so they're going throughout the various family islands. It's just important for us to ensure that while we are celebrating, that we educate as well. And in speaking with the youth of our country, they really did not know what our national tree is because we don't see enough of them planted. And so this is one of our special initiatives that we wanted to ensure that we do in our Golden Jubilee year.
A lot of our young youth who are coming up are not familiar with our national tree. And a lot of kids from various schools usually visit the grounds either for the fire department or just to tour the grounds. So this is wonderful and timely that we are able to bring the kids and identify our national tree.
And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
This is the super versatile Ring Stick-Up Cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on.
Seriously?
Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor stick-up cam by Ring.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Within weeks, the Atlantic hurricane season will begin, and that's what's troubling for applicants of Urban Renewal's Home Repair Initiative, whose needs have not yet been addressed. State Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Urban Renewal, that is, the Honorable Lisa Ramming, attributes that to numerous reasons, but is calling on those residents to be patient.
We're really trying to get to those individuals who cannot help themselves. And like I say, we have a lot of application, which means those who could afford it and those who can't. And so we're just sifting through those applications, the team is, and we're really dealing with those who cannot afford it. And of course, our cap is $15,000. We've seen some special cases where persons would have been like $20,000, $21,000. And so we're being very cautious with that because we really want to help as much people as we can.
Ramming says the team was in Long Island today while work has started in Exuma, Cat Island. Acklands is slated for next week.
Majority of the scope of work is leaking roofs. And of course, you know, we've extended it to small home repair, which means that some people don't have working bathrooms or holes in the walls, and so we're helping in that area as well. But for now, because the hurricane season is upon us, the roof leaking is our priority.
Works and Utilities Minister, the Honourable Alfred Sayers, meantime, leading a delegation to Crooked Island, Long Key and Acklands to review public infrastructure and inspect road projects. The first stop on the two-day trip, Long Key, where they viewed docks and government buildings previously used as a clinic, school, post office and administrative office. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We have patchy clouds this evening outside of our studios. Your temperature at 82 degrees. Relative humidity at 69%. The winds out of the south at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,013.3 millibars. That's 29.96 inches. And the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Toll Key, Marshall, Babaco at 81 degrees, 80 degrees in the Berry Islands. Allstown, Bimini, 83, 82 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 81, 84 in Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space, Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey at 80 degrees, 82 in Georgetown, Exuma, 82 is again in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matchetown, Inagua, 83, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight through tomorrow, which is Saturday, southerly winds at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The low tide will take place at 9:24 tonight. You can expect another low tide at 10:18 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands through Saturday, southeasterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we roll into Sunday in the northwest and central parts of our country, the winds become southeast to south. They will be increasing in speeds 15 to 25 knots. Very rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So advisories will go in place for boaters in the northwest and central Bahamas on Sunday. Low tide on Sunday, well, that will take place at 11 or 8 in the morning, with a high tide at 5:10 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas on Sunday, southeast winds, they too will be increasing 15 to 20 knots, wave height building 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. So we will establish a caution flag for the southeast Bahamas on Sunday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I saw you with your boyfriend just the other night. He had you snatched up, y'all really, really tight. I'm not the kind of fella who like OPP, but I must admit, y'all, I feel a little jealousy. Every time I see ya, I break the golden rule. I had a crush on you, girl, from we was in high school. But homeboy beat me to the deal because I never told ya.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Girl, if I had you, all the things that we could do, if loving you is wrong.
On May 1st, 2012, Rubis acquired the Chevron fuel business in the Bahamas, which traded under the Texaco brand. We are now celebrating our 10th anniversary of the Rubis brand in the Bahamas. Rubis has become the fuel brand of choice. However, our 10-year journey was not without challenges. We would like to recognize our dedicated members of staff and thank our customers for their continued support. We look forward to another 10-year milestone as we continue our journey.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before things get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
If it's savings that you want, then it's savings you shall have. Shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kraft macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, $1.09. Country Barn mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.75. Hallandale eggs, extra large, 1 dozen, $3.79. Sweet Gala apples, 3 for 99 cents. Pork chop ends, $2.49 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals only at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. The 43rd edition of the Public Primary Schools Track and Field Championships moving into its final day of competition. The more than 700 athletes have been working hard over the past 3 days trying to accumulate points for their various schools. Our Charles Fisher was there. He gives us some of the details.
Some 700 athletes representing 32 schools took part in the 3-day meet, which was full of excitement. Youngsters, they braved the hot sun and enjoying the moment. Officially opening the meet and stressing to the athletes to achieve no matter where they come from was Olympic gold medalist Ramon Miller.
Doesn't matter where you come from, all right? I started right here in primary school, in government primary school, working my way up to the government system, and hey, I was a success. I think I was a successful person, all right? I won the Bahamas a silver and a gold, and I know you guys can do it. You let no one tell you nothing else.
Also bringing remarks was Dominic McCartney Russell, Acting Director of Education.
This event is so important for our national development. Our premier athletes began their journey right where we are. And so we have to ensure that these children get the opportunity to develop so that at the end of the day, they become themselves premier athletes.
Let's now go to the track. 800-meter final C Division girls saw Melody Thompson from Galvantines dancing from behind to win in 3 minutes 40.50 seconds. It was sister thing as her big sister Ariel also came from behind to win the A Division race in 2:46.52.
When
I started, I was trying to stay up with the car. And then the 15 minutes, and the car got tired, so I just like let them pass me a little bit. And then after 250, I started to pick it up. And then after 100, I started to overtake first place.
C Division boys going right down to the wire on who wants it more. Sidon Sawyer, Palmdale Primary with the push at the end to hold off Caden Thompson from Cleveland Indians for the win. Romello was in the 800 all by himself, proving his domination. No one even within 20 minutes of him as he cruised to the win.
I wanted to give it my all. I wanted, my coach said, put it all, so I ran my fastest. And I led me to victory.
Cleveland Indians once again emerge as the overall champs. Congratulations to all the schools. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks, Fisher. Now, yesterday we told you the sad passing of one of our sports icons, Ray Midas Jr. During that time, he would have recounted the historic local bouts between he and arch-rival Quincy Thriller-Minute Pratt. Well, Pratt, speaking for the first time since yesterday, talked about how the two had become great friends over the years.
In our latter years, we became good friends. I mean, good friends. And even in the time, just 2 weeks ago, I just go see Ray every other week. I was by him 2 weeks ago. And we sit down, we talk about the old fights. He talk about, let's do a fourth fight. I can let you win this one. I couldn't believe it. I said, well, he's a year, Mike, let you win. I can let you win this one. But Ray was a great man outside the ring, a good family man, and he loved boxing.
Meanwhile, anticipation continues to build for the upcoming return of the Bahamas Games. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, saying Bahamians can expect a major push and promotion beginning on Monday.
We want the Bahamian people to be aware that the countdown has started with the baton commencing in Exuman this weekend pass, I should say. And so everyone, the excitement for the game is going to be kicked off on Monday. You'll see a lot of PR and marketing around the Bahamas, not just in New Providence and Grand Bahama, but in the entire Family Islands who will be participating.
Minister Boleg adding that one of the key points of focus will be engaging the youth of the country, especially those who would be competing for the first time.
We just want that generation who would not have known anything about Bahama Games under the age of 30, who are in their prime of playing these various disciplines, sporting disciplines, to be prepared and ready, and we want to educate them so they can understand the Olympic format of the islands coming together, finding the best of the best, uniting the country through the disciplines of the various sports.
And that's it. Your check on sports for you here on this Friday. Don't go anywhere. The weather still to come.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
It's a dead cow battery. Why not get a battery that lasts and has a 12-month warranty and is only $64.50? Intercontinental batteries are made with German technology, compatible with Japanese, US, and European vehicles, and adapts to warm climates. All right, good to go. These batteries are high quality, affordable, innovative, and only available at AID. Visit us online or WhatsApp us at 427-0026. AID, all you really need and more.
Gents, Mother's Day is coming up, and I'm thinking about upgrading my kids' mother's kitchen.
Man, I thought your children's mother was married to another man. You have to know when to let go. This is powerful. You know what? I'm going to upgrade my wife's kitchen for Mother's Day. I am sure she would love that.
I think so too. Check out Cornet Bahamas. They're having a pre-Mother's Day sale, 35% off store-wide starting April 16th through May 16th. The Sandy Port Plaza, Freeport, Albuquerque, and Ilu.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures showing quite a bit of moisture over the extreme northwest parts of our country, Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco. They will be the recipient of some showers and thunderstorms out tonight and tomorrow. Meanwhile, high pressure remains in control of the rest of the Bahamas. We also have a little bit of moisture in the southeastern parts of the country, from Crooked Island, Acklands, all the way down into the Turks and Caicos Island. They, too, will be experiencing pockets of showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, though, we're looking at clear to partly cloudy, a bit warm and humid here in the capital. settle with your low temperature around 77 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be periods of clouds and sunshine, turning breezy in the afternoon with an isolated thunderstorm likely. Don't know exactly where that will fall, but it certainly will be brief in nature if it does occur. 88 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow, and your extended weather forecast looking like this. Isolated showers into Sunday, but come Monday, this is when we expect some clouds to develop over the area. Showers and thunderstorms becoming more scattered, and this is when a frontal system will push through on Monday, and that will drop those temperatures. We will see some upper 60s, something we have not seen in quite a while, and that will last for about 2 days, taking us into Tuesday. Temperature-wise, during the daytime, they will remain in the mid to low 80s. Makishla.
Thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.